What is up, everyone? It is the VIP Club. It is March. It is sunny outside. What a great feeling. So this month, I want to dive into a couple things before we get into the question of the month. And the first thing is probably the biggest stressor we're seeing right now, and that is renewals. A lot of people have coming out of really low rates and into today's rates, and there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of concern, a lot of worry. And so what I would suggest to everybody is you really want to get on top of this early. So we try to start planning this literally a year ahead of time. We have some lenders that will allow us to start the process early. For some people, it makes it worthwhile to renew early. There's all sorts of things, but the worst you can do is leave it to the last minute. We've got lots of lenders that are being very aggressive right now when you switch over to them. So on maturity date, going to a new lender. So it's really important to make sure you get ahead of it and plan for it well in advance. And that'll give you a lot of time and a lot less stress. So that will get you through, I think, and really take a lot of that worry out when you've planned ahead and make sure that you're prepared for when that review comes up. So again, about a year before your maturity date, that's the perfect time to start planning for your annual review. Something to be prepared your renewal. Now, one of the things to be prepared for when you do renew is one of the downsides to what we do is a lot of these lenders are like used car salesmen. It's really bad. They'll tell you what the rate is, and then if you push them around, they'll go talk to the manager and get you a new one. We have a really clear, easy process. So as long as you're with us, don't worry about it, we'll cover. But it's just really important to prepare in advance and have an expert walk you through it, because I've seen people sign renewal agreements, not really shop around and cost themselves thousands. So renewals, really important right now. The next thing that we're seeing a lot of right now is a lot of people looking to buy a second piece of property. I know that sounds unusual, but what we did just yesterday is we have some clients and they don't live in the Lower Mainland, but mom is in a house that she's been renting, and they want to get their elderly parent into like a condo that's safe, something they don't have to worry about what's going to happen if the landlord sells. So they wanted to buy a condo and mom would live there. So one of the great things that people don't realize is if you're buying a second home or a vacation home for yourself, or a second home like something for an immediate family member, you actually don't have to put 20% down if it's under $1 million. You can do the same thing as you can as if when you buy your principal residence. If it's under $500,000, you can only put 5% down. So the down payment options are actually very flexible. So I think it's really important to keep in mind vacation properties aren't super popular right now, but taking care of parents are. So if you hear someone trying to get mom and dad into a place, that could be a great program for them. Now, with all of that said, let's dive into the question of the month. And it's, if you were to pull out 50 grand of equity, what would you do with it? Well, I think we've talked about this before as far as renovations go. I know each year, my wife and I seem to bounce back and forth. 1 year I do something and it's usually not exciting. Like, for example, 2 years ago or 3 years ago it was the roof. The next year was the kitchen. It was something cool that everyone could see. So I believe it's my turn. And I want to do something really lame with 50K. I need to redo the fence. I like to get a new furnace, something like more energy efficient and more powerful. And then depending on how all that dough looks, the fun one I would like to do is I'd love to redo our outdoor space, like our deck and everything like that. I think that would be super cool. I think if my wife had her choice, it would definitely, a big chunk of the money would go to redo the ensuite though. So what would you do if you pulled out 50 grand of equity right now? Hope you guys are doing great. It's, as usual, Jason Suddy with the Practical Mortgage Company. Your story starts here.